What's up everybody, welcome back to another Heroclix video. In Bronze Age, Retaliators are the norm. They are effective tertiary attackers with other effects that can increase your theme team count for a low cost. And with all of them having willpower on a 3 through 6, these types of pieces become even more attractive when building your team. Ranging from 10 to 30 points, these pieces should not be ignored while on the map, as many games can swing with a Retaliator getting in on the action. And with a giant reach of 3 for these figures, it isn't hard for them to retaliate. Today we will look at the top 5 Retaliators for Bronze Age. Keep in mind that many, if not all, of these figures will have the Colossal Retaliation trait or power. Some are primarily used as a Retaliator, but there are many more uses as you will see below. Let's start with honorable mentions. These didn't quite make the cut, but these have some definite uses in the format. Giant Girl from Avengers Infinity Fast Forces. Giant Girl is the cheapest Retaliator in the game at 10 points, along with some others, but she doesn't have the "if no other Colossal Retaliation has been activated this turn" clause. This means she can retaliate after anyone else has. Sidestep means she has mobility, and Close Combat Expert means she is retaliating at an 11 for 3, which is more than respectable for 10 points. And if you have multiples of her, you can chain Colossal Retaliations. Avengers and celebrity keywords give her plenty of options, especially if you put her on Spider Family teams. The Atom from Superman Wonder Woman. The Atom is a mere 5 more points at 15 points, but he does a lot. Aside from sidestep and empower after he gets in, his Colossal Retaliation is a devastating one. An area of effect that includes all other characters within 2 squares of the target is already a great effect. But add in the fact that he deals 2 penetrating damage, and they cannot use super senses, combat reflexes, or shape change, and this is borderline broken for the point cost. The only thing keeping him from breaking into the top 5, in my opinion, is his lone useful keyword in Bronze Age, Soldier. Although good, it's still a bit narrow even if Spider Family is now an option. Now let's get into the top 5. Number 5, Tri-Sentinel. With the hit to Pulse Wave, Tri-Sentinel drops down a notch or 2 in the rankings. With great keywords like Mystical and Robot, both played in bunches in Bronze Age, this 3-headed Sentinel is still a major threat. With a long 9 range and sidestep, and great defensive capabilities, ESD and Protected Mind Control, Tri-Sentinel is still very much viable. But one of the main reasons you will be using this figure is this power, the Prime Directive. It reads, Plasticity, Sidestep. When Tri-Sentinel destroys 1 or more pieces of blocking terrain, after resolutions deal 1 penetrating damage to each opposing character that was adjacent to 1 or more destroyed pieces. And the improved movement trait, where he breaks blocking terrain. If you have a map with many blocking terrain, or even plenty of barrier, you can deal auto damage, penetrating mind you, just by breaking or moving through blocking terrain. And along with this Colossal Retaliation, free if no other Colossal Retaliation power has been activated this turn, choose an opposing character that attacked Tri-Sentinel or damaged a friendly character since your last turn. Place Tri-Sentinel such that it can target the chosen character using Pulse Wave at no cost, then do so. If it did, after resolutions, destroy all terrain within 3 squares, blocking terrain. This means that in the right situation, Tri-Sentinel can deal some massive amounts of damage to any characters at once. A common thing you can pull off is a Pulse Wave Retaliation, dealing everyone 1 damage, then all blocking within 3 breaks, dealing more damage if they are by any blocking, then using a move action to move through blocking terrain to deal more damage after it breaks. Finally, using Sidestep to break that 1 last piece of blocking to deal the last bit of damage. All that for only 30 points. Number 4, Surtur from the Mighty Thor set. This might be the ultimate pure Retaliator in the format. He has the highest attack value at 12 out of all the Retaliators, and he has one of the best effects for a Retaliator, which reads, Free if no other Colossal Retaliation power has been activated this turn, choose an opposing character that attacked Surtur or damaged a friendly character since your last turn. Place Surtur such that he can make a close combat attack targeting the chosen character, then do so. After resolutions, deal 1 penetrating damage to each opposing character within 2 squares, and this other power. Opposing characters can't use defense powers if they are the only target of Surtur's attack. Yes, you read that right. No defense when he attacks. Normally, when you see effects like this, it usually means they must hit first, then they shut off the defensive powers, i.e. Finn Balor and Green Arrow. But this is whenever he attacks a single target. This means no reducers, no rollouts, no combat reflexes, no mastermind, and most importantly, no stop clicks. This works in line perfectly with his retaliation, and he is doing a base damage of 3 and the after effects of 1 penetrating damage to opposing characters within 2 squares is just the cherry on top of the sundae. At 25 points, he is right at the sweet spot for Retaliators. Number 3, Dark Phoenix from the X-Men animated series. At 30 points, Dark Phoenix is at the cusp of how many points you want to spend on Retaliators. A couple of reasons why she makes it this high. The first one is she doesn't have the Colossal Indifference trait or power. This means she functions like any other character on your team with a bonus of having Colossal Retaliation. The second reason is that she can heal above her starting line through KOing characters or dealing 4 damage, or both. This makes her quite resilient as she can use Sidestep with 10 range to pick off little pieces and heal right away to make it that much harder to KO her. Oh, and I forgot why she was here in the first place, her retaliation. Free, if no friendly character has been placed this turn, choose an opposing character that attacked Dark Phoenix or damaged a friendly character since your last turn. Place Dark Phoenix such that she can make a close attack targeting the chosen character, then do so, also targeting all other characters, friendly or opposing, within 3 squares. Hit characters are given an action token and are dealt 2 penetrating damage instead of normal damage. Note that the wording here is different than your standard retaliation. Friendly characters can't be placed if you want to use this. It's subtle but a bit more restrictive. A great area of effect retaliation that deals 2 penetrating damage and tokens every 1 hit. This is a great way to pick off little dudes when she retaliates, or at the very least weaken them enough, so that when she actually attacks, it is that much easier to KO. And with her 3 bolts, she has the chance to KO multiple pieces to get even more healing. At just 30 points, Dark Phoenix is a low investment but gives your opponent all kinds of problems, as she can run amok if left alone, and more so if played in multiples. With the X-Men and Cosmic keywords, she is more than viable in Bronze Age. Number 2, Carnage from the Mighty Thor set. The cheapest and most efficient retaliator in the game at a mere 10 points. Great offensive stats with an 11 attack for 3 damage, monster keyword, and plasticity for some defensive measures, if you want to tie up a piece. If you slap on the maximum Carnage ATA, then he becomes monstrous. Sorry, I had to. All that would be worth his points alone, but then you get this additional effect, which is his Colossal Retaliation. It's the standard wording, but when you place Carnage, such that he makes a close attack targeting the chosen character, after resolutions, you may generate a symbiote bystander adjacent to the chosen character. Interesting to note here, you don't need to hit the target to generate the symbiote. So even if you miss, it's still good because you get a bystander with plasticity, shape change, super senses, and BCF with an 11 attack to boot. So you'll get another chance to hit the target if you missed the first time. Of course, if you KO'd the target, you don't get the symbiote. But then again, you KO'd the target with a 10-point figure. Number 1, Groot from Avengers Infinity. Now we come to the best of the best, the cream of the crop, the dawn of dawns. Sorry, I got carried away there. This 20-point Retaliator is right in between the 10 and 30-point range of Retaliators you'd want to play them at. But this tree does so much more for his points. First, let's look at the great keywords he has. Ruler, Cosmic, and Monster. All 3 are amazing in Bronze Age, so he will almost always be played on a theme team. Next, he has the almost mandatory leadership power, which currently is a must on all teams. This makes him the cheapest leadership you'd want to play that does anything else other than just leadership. On non-Guardians theme teams, he is a standard 11-18-3, but it's his trait that puts him over the top. At the beginning of the game, you may generate a Dr. Leslie Evans bystander in an opponent's area that's friendly to their force. If you do, generate 2 Walking Wood bystanders. Whenever Groot hits 1 or more characters with an attack, After resolutions, generate a Walking Wood Bystander, max 5. You basically start the game with 2 amazing bystander tokens with Sidestep, Flurry, Plasticity, and Shape Change that you will never ever get enough of. Add to that he can generate more as he keeps hitting, and this tree can generate a cascade of branches and leaves falling from him and all over your opponent. The best part is that it is generated next to him, which means you can generate it on the other side of Groot if you like, so that they can sidestep Flurry someone else. The Leslie Evans drawback isn't that much of a drawback, as he rarely ever gets into the fray. They never plan to have it on the team in the first place. Well, there you have it. There are plenty of other Retaliators to look at, and many have their own uses in certain situations or in certain types of teams. But just the raw power and efficiency of these figures is hard to pass up. Whether you just want a pure attacking piece or a piece with multiple uses, or even just saving points to up the theme team count, consider playing these figures on your teams because you'll wish you had a Retaliator sooner or later. Thanks for reading. Till next time, remember, only bad players blame the dice.